Hello guys, I wanted to make a video, right? Talking about why friendships fade over time. I feel like a lot of us have good friends, right? That they've known for years, right? And then all of a sudden it fades, right? And maybe it doesn't have to be for years, right? That you've known them. It could be recently, right? Like months ago, a year ago, 2 years ago. And then it ends up fading over time, right? Sometimes it's just the natural cause of things, the natural factor of things, right? Like time, different goals, distance, those kind of things, which is beyond our control, right? But I feel like it's not because of those things most of the time. I feel like it's because of other things, right? Other topics, which I'll be discussing in this video, right? Why friendships fade over time, right? So without further ado, let's hop right into this video. So guys, this is the first reason, right? The first reason why, right? And this reason, right? I'm just gonna like give you the rundown on why friendships fade over time, right? And this is the sub reason, right? It's because, right, you're being personally overwhelmed, right? And the reason why you're being personally overwhelmed is because you got factors like work, family obligations. Let me check my notes real quick. And personal responsibilities, right? That doesn't have to be just simply work and family obligations, right? That drain your time and energy, right? And before you know it, it's like you don't want to talk to no one, right? You don't want to deal with no one, and that will include your friends, right? And this is just a natural thing, right? I'm not about to blame you guys, right, for letting it happen, for like letting your friendships fade over time, but becoming more aware of why your friendships are fading over time, which is because of work and other personal responsibilities, right? Like family obligations could help you keep your friendship alive unless you just simply want it to fade, right? Another thing that doesn't get talked a lot, right, is you're personally, not just personally, right, in this topic, right? You're emotionally, right, overwhelmed and physically overwhelmed, or in this case, exhausted, right? You're emotionally and physically exhausted, and this is because of the personal responsibilities that you're undergoing, right? Because you're physically and emotionally like exhausted, you're too tired to really care about your friends, right? You may have overarching goals, you may have things that you're trying to achieve so badly. You may just simply are just tired of life, right? That you just don't care about your friends, right? And I think that's just another factor that people don't talk about, that they don't even think is a factor, right? And why their friendships are fading over time, right? They just attribute to external factors, which isn't that far from the truth, right? But those external factors, most of the time, can be controlled by you, right? You can choose how to control it. And once you realize that, your friendships that you've known for years or recently, right, doesn't have to fade because you're personally, right, you're emotionally and physically exhausted, right? Okay, guys, for the final reason, right, the final sub reason on this topic is really simple, right? And it's because your friendships fading away is because of the fact that there is no open and honest communication skills, right? I feel like a lot of us dudes, right, we like to go on with months, right, never texting our guys back, our homeboys back, never texting them, and only checking up on them every once in a while, every occasion, essentially, right? And the only problem with that tactic is that it could lead to potentially never texting your homeboy back, right? I've already gone so long without texting him back. I can go on a little longer, right? And before you know it, you're just never gonna text him back. And before you know it, that friendship is gone, right? That's why you need open and honest communication. And it needs to be like really consistent, right? You need to be talking about your goals, your problems in life, whatever you're going through, so that you can keep that friendship alive and keep your homeboy there, right? Because if you don't do that, all it does is just lead to neglect because you're too busy focusing on your goals. You start to see everything around you as annoyance. You start to place a lot of ego in yourself, seeing yourself as the most important person in the world. Meanwhile, you're probably the least most important person in the world, right? And that's just why you need open and honest communication skills. Now, this is the second reason that you need to do, right? So like the first reason, right, was just simply a focus on why your friendships fade away, right? The second reason at this point is just to show you how to fix that problem, to make sure your friendships do not fade away. And the second reason is a prioritizing of well-being and self-care, right? And how you do this is really simple, right? Now we're getting into the sub-reason, right? And it's self-care practices for energy restoration. I just had to look at my notes for a little bit, right? And how you do that is like I said, very simple, right? Sufficient sleep, proper nutrition, working out, getting your mind right, focusing on yourself and family and friends, right? And cutting out any bad habits and addictions, right? That will slow you down and only hurt you in the long run, right? That's how you fix yourself, right? That's how you get your energy, the energy that you need to reach out to friendships, to make sure you keep it from fading away, to make sure you're doing well enough first so that you can focus on people around you. The second sub reason for this is that you need to also have good boundaries, right? And prioritizing yourself first, right? I alluded to this in the first sub reason, but this is the second thing you got to do: set boundaries first, right? Because I know you can't help anybody, right? If you can't help yourself first, you can't help nobody else. I'll say it again, right? You can't help nobody else if you can't help yourself first, right? And setting boundaries is not a bad thing, right? If your friends are trying to call you insecure for the kind of boundaries you put in place, then they're the ones that has got to go, right? Not only does it make sure, right, it keeps you in check, it makes sure that it keeps your energy high and fulfill any kind of goal, any kind of focus on yourself that you're trying to fulfill, right? It also helps you weed out the friends that are just trying to use you for whatever you're trying to do, right? So sometimes friendships fades away simply because it was not meant to be, right? Sometimes, right? Not all the time, but sometimes. Lastly, you guys also need to find a balance, right, in your daily life and friendships, right? Because you can't just simply, right, focus on yourself, focus on your goals, right? Because it will lead to the idea that that's all you focus on, right? That's all you focus on, and there's no balance at the end of the day. And you kind of do need balance, right? You're still going to get burnout. You're still going to get tired. If that's all you do, focus on yourself, focus on your goals, you're still going to get tired of that. You're still going to want that break. You're still going to want to talk to people, to like-minded people, or just people in general, right, that are your friends most of the time. And it helps you feel good, right? You feel good after a long day of hard work, after a long day of focusing on yourself. You feel good as you get to talk to different people that are just like you, right? Human and are looking for friends, right? Social human beings and creatures. Finally, the last reason, right? The last main reason is the fact that, let me check my notes. The ripple effect of self-care friendships, right? There's a ripple effect, right? After you got good self-care and how it affects your friendships, right? And this, like I said, the first reason was just to explain to you, right, why your friendships fade away. The last two reasons, right, afterwards, is just to explain to you how you fix yourself and the aftermath of what happens when you fix yourself in order to keep good friendships around, right? And the first sub reason is really simple, right? You just simply strengthening your existing relationships, right? If you guys have taken everything I've said to account, right? If you guys have truly listened to this video and don't let it go 1 year in and out the other, you will simply strengthen your existing relationships and you'll find yourself more fulfilled, right? Because you are fulfilling every aspect of your life, every facet of your life. Not only are you focusing on yourself as a man, right? That's what you should be doing, right? Working out, getting your mind right, focusing on personal responsibilities, family obligations, work, whatever. And you're balancing that with making sure your friendships are good and up to date. The next thing you know, it's like you're feeling fulfilled. You feel alive. Everything, right, seems to go in your favor and you feel good about yourself, which is exactly what I want you guys to be doing. And once you have everything in your life, right, in order, once you're strengthening, right, your existing relationships, your existing friendships, right, you just naturally make new friends. It's really that simple, right? You have good energy, you have good friendships, and all of that will accumulate into making new friends, right? You meet new people, you meet more people, right? Because of how good your life is. And the next thing you know, you're making new friends and you make more and more friends and it just keeps going, right? Obviously, right, not everybody's going to be your friend, right? Not everybody's going to have your back like that, right? I don't want you guys to go out there and start making new friends thinking that, oh, this person is going to have my back through thick and thin. That's not going to be the case. Most often than not, right? That is not going to be the case, right? Because most of the time, right, we make our good and loyal friends, right, young, right? We make the friends that we want young, and the friends that will be most likely acquaintances, right, when we're older, right? And you simply get long-term happiness for yourself, right? If you, like I said before, incorporated everything I've said into this video into yourself, you get like long-term happiness and health benefit for yourself, right? You find yourself having great happiness down the road, and you understand people better. You have good friends. Everything seems to go the way you want it to go. Everything seems to be right. And you have long-term happiness because of it, right? Like good friends, like, and really good friends, right, can honestly improve your health conditions, right? Because of the feeling that it gets, right? You want to have a good feeling to improve your health at all times, right? Because there is like potential studies out there that will explain to you how what you feel is exactly why you get sick, right? It's exactly why you got that disease. It's exactly why you had this and that. What you feel is very important in your life. And good friends is exactly that, right? If you have good friends, you get good health, right? And if you have good friends, like I said before, you have long-term happiness and health benefits, right? Because of the value they bring into your life. And that's it for this video, guys. Remember to like, follow, and subscribe. I'll catch you guys another time.